Hello everyone, this is ssjpacman here, bringing you a Diablo 3/Diablo 4 rant. What I think needs to happen for Blizzard and Diablo to be successful. Not that Diablo 3 isn't a good game. It is good. I mean, I'm currently in the top 300 on the leaderboard for Solo Barb for Season 7, but that's besides the point. The game is good, but it definitely has a lot that's lacking. If we look back at Diablo 2 with 8 players, you know, in a game, we don't have 8 players even anymore. And I get it. In Diablo 3, literally there would be too much poo on the freaking screen for you to see anything that's going on right now. And that's probably because of the animation style they chose to go with on Diablo 3. It's more of an animated style. It's a little bit more cartoony than Diablo 1 or Diablo 2. And I think that's part of what I don't like about the game. I like that it was doom and gloom and dark and fearful. Like, I remember jumping in Diablo 1 given I was a kid. I was like 12 years old when I was playing Diablo 1 heavily. But nonetheless, I mean, the games were scary. They were dark. Diablo 3 is not dark, for sure. It definitely has a more WoW-y MMO kind of feel to it. Which brings me to one of my next topics, the skill tree/skill line, as I think Riker pointed out. You know, there is no skill tree in Diablo 3. There's a skill circle or a skill map that you just kind of pick little dots on that you like. I don't care for this. I was a big fan in Diablo 2. I loved that it took forever to get level 99. I pushed every season from like after season 4 to like season 9 to get to level 99 first. That was really cool to me. I've heard others talk about how the Paragon system kind of replaces this and everything. And I mean, they're right. I'm not opposed to the Paragon system. But the problem I do have is it doesn't seem like there's any reward for the people who have skin in the game. And by skin in the game, I just mean that people who have actually played, you know, the guys in Diablo 2 who got to level 90, you know, not everybody made it that far. It took time. It was a pain, you know. It was worth something to level another champion. A champion, a level 90 champion had value. You could buy one on third-party websites and stuff. But there's no value to a character in Diablo 3. Which is why I don't even understand the point of making new characters every season. You know, why not just drop the loot off my character and whatever on that. That part doesn't matter at all. Back to my points. You know, another one of our issues is the matchmaking system or the game joining system in Diablo 3 is, let's face it, lame. There's no community around it. It is just the worst system I've ever seen in this type of game. I love Diablo 3's style, or Diablo 2's style of matchmaking, where you could see all the open games in the world. You know, as long as they weren't password protected, you know, you could jump in and play with the guy who was, you know, the best player for that season if he had an open game. I mean, you could play with whoever. Now it's like, well, maybe I'll get some good people in the next 3 hours while I sit here and play a healer monk and can't find a team worthy of me being a support monk for. You know, that's not enjoyable. Nobody wants to go through 3 hours of trying to find a group that's worth playing with. You know, in Diablo 2, there were names, you know, like Tifa's or Voy. These were big, popular community people that, you know, if you jumped into a game with them, they were going to carry your butt hard one way or another. And if you were actually good enough to play with them, you know, it was totally different than it is now. Nobody knows any of the guys that are on the leaderboard. You know, I played maybe 5 open games. You know, most of the time I play by myself, or I play with 2 other friends, and that's about it. There is no community in Diablo 3. They shot it in the foot when they got rid of the auction house. Not that the auction house added anything to the community. That kind of shot it in the foot as well. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy making money off of people, but I am saying that, you know, it wasn't per se good for the game. So, you know, I'm totally happy with the auction house being gone. But people who talk about Jay Wilson ruining Diablo 3, I had a lot of fun in Diablo 3 Vanilla. I got all the way to Act 3 back when it was actually hard to, when you went to hell, it was actually hard. You know, before torments and all that jazz, you know, it was hard. I mean, I remember trying to get past the butcher. It must have took almost a month and a half to get through Act 1. But that was the reward for it, was once you got into Act 2, you were better than anybody who got into Act 1. Now you have to, I got a Rift 98. I made it to Rift 98. Well, what class were you? What was this? There's just not a lot of comparison. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I was fine with the old system. I wish people would stop talking shit about Jay Wilson. That's one of the big things, you know. If you want to talk shit about Jay Wilson, talk shit about Hellgate London. But that's a different topic there. But, you know, the lack of trading is a huge issue. That is one of the big parts of Diablo. Without trading, the game is pretty well nerfed into the ground. I mean, you know, I have to give my friends, like, when we play together, it's like, well, maybe you'll need this on one of your champions, so here it is. So, you know, your inventory is completely full because you have to, oh, maybe I'll use this someday. You know, that's retarded. That's absolutely retarded. In any other game you can trade. What the hell are you thinking, Blizzard? You know, which brings me to, you know, the idea of a gold sink and everything. And, you know, they just recently, for Season 7 here, have tweaked how gold works and how much gold we're getting and whatnot. And they've broken it to all retardedness. I have over 1 billion gold currently. And to empower a level 70 Rift, it's only costing me like 20 million gold to do. I'm never, ever going to run out of gold. I find puzzle rings. I do T13 puzzle ring or Goblin Realm. And bada bing, bada boom, I've got 400 million gold again. You know, what is the point? There is no gold sink in this game. So what I propose on that, and this will take up a couple of the different things that I brought up that Diablo 2 kind of had right, in my opinion, you know, with the getting skin into the game, and not being able to change your skills and stuff. There was actually a fixed skill tree. I propose a gold sink of, to respec, why don't we make it cost 1 billion gold, or 2 billion gold, or whatever, X amount of gold, a retarded amount of gold. That way it's hard enough for you to respec that you don't want to do it all the time, but it's easy enough, or it's available, so that if you totally fuck the duck, you can. You know, if you don't want to re-level a character, you can totally go out there and farm gold until you have enough gold to respec. I would be fine with that. You know, I've heard other people talk about the original rune system that we were supposed to see in Diablo 3 that we saw at BlizzCon in like 2008 or something like that. Which was really cool, where you found runes very similarly to how you found runes in Diablo 2, and they modified your skills. You had a set of skills, but then you found runes that modified them, so then they could have continued to add customization and more layers to the game. As of right now, you have these amount of skills, and this is how it is, and this is how it will always be. It's just kind of boring, and on top of the skills don't feel fresh. They don't feel rewarding. You know, 90% of the skills are useless in Diablo 3. Maybe 95% of the skills are absolutely useless once you get out of normal mode. You know, once you get into Torment, even Master, you know, most of the skills are just useless at that point. So let's get it together. If we're gonna have these skills that are totally useless and everything, then come up with skill modifiers to make them worthwhile and stuff like that. I remember a time when they talked about possibly bringing about a PvP. That was supposed to be a big thing in Diablo 3. That obviously didn't happen, but I think it's a pretty simple thing to fix as far as it goes. Literally, you have the brawling zone, just change the dynamics of the brawling zone. Just make things do less damage. It's just that simple. People will come up with builds to fight each other. I do it with my friends all the time. You know, I mean, a lot of times the Witch Doctor haunts you to death. But then again, last season, that Paladin Thorns build was really wrecking everybody. I couldn't PvP my buddy who was a Paladin. It just would not happen on any champion I played. So, you know, it's not, they said the PvP is broken, but really it isn't. I mean, we've all PvP'd. It's fun. You know, it's not the main focus of the game. That's all. It never was intended to be. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the Diablo 3 map, the Diablo 2 map, and I can't even remember if Diablo 1 had a map, but Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 definitely have one. And as far as it goes, map packs have run rampant in both Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. I don't want to say that I haven't used them, and I don't want to say that I have, you know. But as far as it goes, the bottom line is Blizzard rarely bans for map hacking, and so if they don't care about it, then why not just put the map packs into your game? Why not just build that in? It should be a feature. If everybody fucking uses it, why not have it in your game? It's simple. That is a simple fucking fact. If everybody uses it and you guys didn't make it, then you should put it in your game. Dumbasses on that. That is one thing that drives me nuts. It's like, people hate going backwards in Greater Rift. Use a map pack. Oh wait, Blizzard, how about just give us a map pack so we don't go backwards? All we have to do is look at the fucking map. Nonsense. Anyway, brings me to the fit and finish of Diablo 3. You know, I already kind of touched on the look and the cartoonishness and how if we had 8 players in this game, how it would just be a shitstorm. Not that having 3 elite packs on the screen and 4 players in the game isn't a shitstorm, but we should have had 8. You should never regress number of players in a game. That's a terrible thing. You should always add more, and then if people don't want to fucking play with that many people, then they won't, if it's a problem, you know? Just don't make it more rewarding if it's shitty. But the bottom line on that is we should have had 8 players. That's what Diablo players were wanting. You know, I've got more than enough people on my friends list that I'd like to play with, at least when season starts. But instead, you know, I have my 3 other friends that I play with, and I've got 4 people in the game, and that's the max experience bonus, max gold find bonus, max freaking magic find bonus I can get. And that's all there is the 4 players. I can't do 4 players. I don't like that. Yeah, I hate having to exclude my friends, especially the ones that I played Diablo 2 with and ran hundreds and hundreds of hours with. And now it's like, oh yeah, the group can't be together, so you know, I guess I have to choose which friends I like better. Awesome. The other thing I'd like to talk about is the music. The music in Diablo 3 is lackluster. I mean, there's nothing like the sound of New Tristram, there's nothing like the sound of Tristram in Diablo 2. You know, I mean, it really is awesome. Everybody knows the iconic Diablo 1, Diablo 2 theme song. But the Diablo 3 theme song is not quite on par. But it is what it is on that stuff, you know. I can only look forward to what's going on, and from what I can see all over the internet, it sounds like Diablo 4 is hopefully gonna be announced, and that would be fantastic. I mean, I would love it. Part of why I'm making this video is hopefully Blizzard will listen to some of the things that I've had to say. I mean, I listen to the community. I hear what people have to say on like D3 fans and stuff, and just what me and my friends feel. It seems like this is something that should happen. People want a skill tree. People don't want a skill line. People want there to be some sort of value to leveling their character, not just, oh, I did some greater rifts. You know, there needs to be some value to it. Being able to change who your character is means that your character has no identity. You know, your character is a barbarian with any of the skills. You're not a Zealer like you were in Diablo 2. You're not... You have no special characteristics. Everybody can do what you do. I see the guy at the top of the leaderboard for Barbarian. I just do what he does. That makes sense. Oh, I got that gear. Let me throw that on and see if I can do it just like that. There is a tiny amount of skill involved when it comes to doing the higher rifts and everything and pushing the gear to its max. Now, that I do like. That's one of the things I like most about this game. There comes a point where people who don't have the skill cannot maintain leaderboard, and that's cool. That's fantastic. I like seasons. I like the leaderboard. I always have. I always will. I like being able to pit my time and effort against somebody else's, but I don't like it when somebody else hasn't put in the time and the effort to figure out this build or do this, or any of that, and they're just like, oh, I see the top guy on the leaderboard is doing this build, so I'm just going to use his build. And you know what? It doesn't cost me anything to respec, and I've got all the gear because all my friends have been giving it to me because we could only trade it at the very beginning. I don't even have to ask them for it now because they've already had to give it to me, or I'm going to go have to hunt it for days or however fucking long it takes me. So, you know, I want there to be time involved, like hunting the gear. That's great. I want there to be time involved for you to have to make a new character or have to do something to respec. If not, all the characters are the same. There is no real differences between any different person playing the game other than at the very highest level, some skill difference. But, you know, I can only hope that we see some of this stuff happen in Diablo 3 or Diablo 4. I really want the new battle, or the old BattleNet style matchmaking where you just typed in what you wanted. It allowed for tons of customization. And if you just wanted to go to a room that was trading, you could go to a room that was trading. If you wanted to go to, you know, a PvP room, you could go to a PvP room. If you wanted to do Ubers, you could do Ubers, you know, but all you had to do was type it in and then people could join it. It was simple. There was nothing to it. I don't understand why we changed what worked and what worked well, and what we found out everybody likes. Nobody likes this new system. This system is worthless. This is like, we didn't have any time involved in thinking about this, so fuck it. One of the things that I remember hearing back when whispers of Diablo 3 were coming out, I mean, I'm talking early 2000s, 2003-ish, was a light and dark system. You know, if you were fighting for heaven or if you were fighting for hell, if you were fighting for earth, you know, there was, they were thinking about implementing a system of light and dark. So if your character had the connotation of dark, you would get slightly different affixes for the same thing. So like, for instance, an SOJ, you know, right now we have physical, lightning, fire, so on and so forth. There would be a little bit of an additive there. Instead of just +2 elites and stuff like that, it would have +2 angel damage if it was a darkness version, or it would have +2 demon damage on it if it was a light version. So, I mean, that would be really cool, because the Nephilim aren't fighting for the angels or the demons per se. They're fighting for themselves. They could be fighting on either side. Their goals could be in line with both sides. There's no reason that we couldn't see another angel as the boss of the game. Mathiel was an angel. That was the whole thing, you know. He wasn't just suddenly a demon because he decided to betray heaven. It doesn't make him a demon. He's still an angel. So plus the demon, or plus the angel damage item Would have been awesome on that. There's no reason that the corrupted angels in Act 4 shouldn't take extra damage and stuff. It would have usefulness, but there could be even more twists on it, of course, than that. I really like the idea of the multiple item augmentations from the Mystic, where one character or one person makes this item, and then another person enchants it further, as if the Mystic and the blacksmith and the gem person, all of these people could have different higher levels instead of just going to level 12 on the craftsman, or not craftsman's, on the craftable thing. What are they called? Whatever the Mystic and blacksmith and all of them are called. If you could keep on leveling them to 100, and so some people wouldn't have the time or wouldn't have spent the energy to be able to make the Mystic high enough level so that it could augment this piece of gear in this way, you know. So then trading items would have value, and this one item could have started off as a mediocre 1 out of 100. It was a 77 or something like that, mediocre to good item, but then it went through the hands of several great players, you know, and it became quite the legendary item that got passed around. But that would take time and value. I know that it would be harder to balance and shit like that, and I understand all this, Blizzard, but you're a multi-billion, trillion, gazillion dollar company. Fuck, you bought King. I mean, King, the fucking Candy Crush raping, fucking wallet killing, fucking beat my girlfriend to death fucking company, you know? How could you not have enough money to be able to balance anything? You could probably balance the fucking world on your finger. Come on. Don't fuck with me. I know you can balance anything you put your mind to, so I don't think that would be that tough, you know? You can always nerf it later. You've done plenty of nerfs on things in the past. So, you know, these are just some of the things I'd like to see in Diablo 4, and God, I hope it's coming. I really want to not have to deal with looking at the animated characters anymore. I really, really would like to see more dark, realistic version of the game come out. You know, if not, just give me a freaking Diablo 2 HD remaster and just fucking close the door on the game, huh? I mean, I don't know what else to do, because, like I said, Diablo 3 is a fine game, but I only play it for a couple of weeks, you know, a season. I'm not sitting here dedicating my whole life to it like I did Diablo 2, where I, like, fucking slip my wrist if I don't get a chance to play. So, you know, until then, you know, I'm probably going to play a lot more Overwatch, you know, kick ass, take names on the seasonal leaderboard for now, but, you know, I'm sure I'll get tired of grinding in a little bit, because the grind in this game is boring as shit by comparison to Diablo 2. I mean, yeah, you got less items in Diablo 2, but I don't know, there was just something more about it. The running to ball, or running to well, I can't remember now, suddenly, Mephisto, or whatever runs you were doing, you know, you had to have a runner. You had to have somebody who could teleport. So generally it was a wizard, you know, or you had an Enigma, which, you know, came out much later on. But, you know, you had one of the two, and they would run to the area and open a portal, and then everybody else could go down that portal. I liked that style of town portal. I hate the town portals that we have now. They're stupid as shit. Somebody should be able to open a town portal, and I should be able to walk through it. We had it in Diablo 2. I guess we forgot how to do this since Diablo 2. I mean, come on. I don't see how it was game-breaking or anything. I thought it was fun. You needed to have somebody who could run to an area time effectively. It was the way it was done. It made sense. People liked it. So let's just bring back some of the things that people liked. Give us better graphics. Goddamn, get off of DirectX 9, please. DirectX 9 is like so fucking 12 years ago. Like, DirectX 10 came out in like 2004. Come on. We're on DirectX 12 now. We're using a freaking API that's 3 generations old. That's ridiculous. So, come on, Blizzard, let's get it together. I think this is about it for my video today. You know, I hope that you guys agree with me on some of these things, and you know, all we can do is vote on some of these issues. You know, please in the comments tell me if I'm on the mark, if everybody feels the same way, and you know, Blizzard can use this as a free way of figuring out what they need to put in a game, that their game, what the Diablo fans actually want. I'm not a WoW gamer. I don't want to play WoW. I fucking couldn't get past killing pigs in WoW. I don't want to play WoW. Don't make me do it again, Blizzard. I'll be super pissed. Anyway, this is ssjpacman signing off.